Last year, when Dalton Knecht was first drafted, there were a lot of people calling him the biggest steal of the draft and a future Rookie of the Year candidate. However, since then, he's had a pretty up and down start to his career to say the least. He went from getting consistent minutes in the first half of the season to not even cracking the rotation once the playoffs came around. Obviously, the Luka trade had something to do with it, but this whole situation started well before that. Dalton did have some really big games and moments throughout the year, but he definitely wasn't the player a lot of people were hoping he would be. And most recently, he's been struggling to the point where reports are coming out saying that he's being considered a negative asset in the eyes of front offices. And while I wouldn't go that far considering he's on a rookie contract alone, I get why everyone is so concerned about him. Going into year 2, the expectation for him was to take that next step and show the Lakers why they should keep him. And the Summer League was his first chance to do that. Facing much weaker and even younger competition considering Dalton is 24 years old, we wanted to see him look like he shouldn't belong out there. Yet to be honest, all the Summer League did was make people even more concerned than they already were. Because throughout the event, he shot just 9 for 38 from 3, which is about 24%. And on top of missing his shots, he still needs to work on his defense and made way more mistakes than he should have. And that shooting slump carried over to the preseason because in the 6 games he played, he shot only 23% from 3. It's not something you want to see out of any of your players, let alone a guy whose #1 ability is to shoot threes. I know I've been pretty critical of him so far in this video, but it's only really concerning because we've seen how good of a shooter he can be. First of all, coming out of Tennessee, Dalton shot basically 40% from 3 and had 17 games where he made 3 or more. I mean, he won SEC Player of the Year and was easily one of the best shooters in the draft. Then when he got selected with the 17th pick to the Lakers, it felt like a match made in heaven, and in the beginning it kinda was. He showed everyone exactly who he could be right away in one of his first preseason games against the Suns. It looked all but over by the beginning of the 4th quarter, but out of nowhere, Dalton flipped a switch. He went on to score 20 straight points for the Lakers to bring them all the way back. Yes, 20 straight points. He single-handedly brought them back from down double digits. And to make the night that much better, he would also go on to hit the shot that would send the game into overtime. From there, he scored or assisted on every single bucket for the rest of the game. It was an unreal night and got fans beyond excited to see what was next for him. He started off the regular season shooting really well, and in the entire month of November, he shot over 50% from the field and a whopping 46% from 3. He was playing exactly how everyone was hoping he'd play. That stretch included a big-time 27-point performance in a win against the Pelicans, and just 3 days later he had a 37-point night against the Jazz. This game was exactly like the one against the Suns in the preseason. Again, he scored over 20 straight points and he shot 9 for 12 from 3. That's the franchise record for the most threes made as a rookie, and he also tied the NBA's rookie record. At that point, the Dalton Knecht hype train was in full effect, and he became one of the favorites to win Rookie of the Year. I mean, he scored a career high in back-to-back games. On a Lakers team that has LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Austin Reeves, it was the rookie Dalton Knecht to help save the day. He would continue to have some pretty big performances after that, but the 37 points was definitely the highlight of his season. That's why I say it's as concerning as it is. Because we've seen him have massive games, and we've seen him shoot the ball consistently for long stretches. Right now, something is definitely off. And I know everyone's first response is going to be it's all because of the trade situation, but like I said earlier, while I do think it played a part for sure, this was happening way before. Dalton had 4 20-point games in the span of 2 weeks during that stretch in November. However, from that point, he finished the rest of the season with only 3 more. The signs that something was off were there early. Once Rui came back into the lineup, there was definitely a shift. His role was decreased significantly, and head coach JJ Redick also stopped running nearly as many plays for him. For the first 32 games, Dalton was playing almost 23 minutes a night, but for the final 46 games, he was playing 16.5 minutes. Not to mention the rumors that Dalton was struggling to learn the offense and stuff like that. Those rumors would be fueled even more after videos of JJ screaming at him started going around. As the year went on, Dalton still had games where he shot well, but you started to see him missing a lot of the shots he used to make. He doesn't finish the best in the paint either, which only makes it that much harder to get going. Those droughts were also happening much more frequently than you'd like to see. Obviously, every shooter is going to have those stretches, but it's made even worse because of his defense, or lack thereof. He struggles on defense a lot. Not necessarily because he isn't trying, but he just isn't quick enough to keep up with guards and isn't strong enough to body up taller players. There's times where he looks good, and there's times where he simply can't be on the court at all. So if he's not making his shots, he almost becomes a two-way liability, which again wouldn't be a problem on certain teams, but this current Lakers team has next to no defense. So if you can't hold your own to a certain degree, then it's much harder to get on the court. And that's literally what we saw as the season went on. I think the pressure of having to shoot good right away or you'll be taken out has really messed with him. If he misses a few shots in a row, then there's a good chance he's not getting back in the game again. I know you could say that about a lot of players in the league, but as chaotic of a rookie season he had, it's yet another obstacle. Which leads us to the trade itself. If getting traded in the middle of your rookie season isn't disheartening enough, how about getting traded just for the trade to not go through so you have to go back to your old team? So on top of knowing the team that just drafted you is openly okay with moving on from you, you also have to now go back and play with them. It's something that very rarely happens, so it was a big deal, and because it was involving the Lakers that just traded for Luka, it was made an even bigger deal. I was actually excited to see what he would look like playing for the Hornets. The Hornets would have allowed him to play through his mistakes and possibly get his confidence back. He wouldn't have to worry about constantly getting pulled out of the game, and he would get a much bigger opportunity. The trade itself was a good thing for him. The fact that it didn't go through was what made a rough situation that much worse. People were clowning him all over social media, and just as bad, the role that he was drafted to fill was no longer needed. Once the Lakers got Luka, their need for scoring at the guard position just wasn't there, especially since they have Austin Reeves as well. So he's continued to be in trade talks ever since. How much value does he actually have right now? Honestly, I really don't know. His potential still being on a rookie contract brings some value no matter what, and it's not like he's a completely garbage player either. He's gotten a lot better at things like his passing, and there's still a ton of value once his shot does get going. The Lakers did pick up his team option, which is already more than what they did for their last 17th overall pick in Jalen Hood-Schifino. He was just drafted in 2023, and I don't even think he's in the league anymore. That's what makes Dalton not reaching expectations that much more brutal. That's back-to-back first-round picks that haven't exactly worked out. However, there is still of course time for him to put things together. And with LeBron and Luka missing time this season already, he has a chance to get more minutes than he usually would. I mean, he did make it to the NBA from a JUCO school, so he's climbed out of a tough situation before. There's still plenty of season left, so I'm not gonna write him off yet. 9 games in, Dalton's numbers aren't the best, but he did look good in both games against Portland and Minnesota. He even closed out that game against the Timberwolves. Although with Jake LaRavia looking really good, the return of LeBron, and also their first round pick from this year, he's gonna have a lot of competition. Hopefully it brings the best out of him, and we'll see if he can take that next step. But let me know what you guys think about Dalton Knecht in the comments, and please leave a like to support the channel. Also subscribe if you're new for more basketball videos just like this one.